All right, so here we have a 2006 Honda Element. What we're going to be doing today is the front struts. This front strut here has lost its protective bushing here, so we're going to go ahead and replace it. These are most likely original. Yeah, these are original struts to the vehicle. So we'll go ahead and replace them. We're going to start off by removing the tie rod end. All right, so we just want to give it a little whack with the hammer right here. Maybe a little. All right, we'll go ahead and remove our bolt here for our brake caliper line. And this is going to be a 12 millimeter. A couple clips here for our ABS sensor. One on the back. All right, so now we just have our two bolts down here. We'll go ahead and remove the nut, but we're going to leave one of the bolts in there. Okay, so now we'll go up to the top and remove our upper bolts. All right, so here we are at the top of the strut. What we're going to do is remove these three outer nuts here. It's going to be, let's see, it's a 14 millimeter. All right, so now that we have our strut loose, all right, we're going to go ahead and raise the car back up. All right, now we'll go ahead and pull our bottom bolts out. All right, we can separate the strut from the knuckle. Go ahead and pull our strut out. All right, so here we have a strut that we got from Auto Parts Direct to You. It is a complete quick strut. So we want to make sure that everything is the same. Looks like there's an attachment. This was where we had our clips for our ABS. So we'll go ahead and remove this bracket and change it over to our new strut. All right, so before we put our strut in, we just want to make sure that our strut mounting bracket, our bearing, the plate is in the same direction. Oftentimes on a strut, the alignment process is with spinning these. If they're offset, this one is offset, so we just want to make sure that we're putting it in. It's going to go in. You see our R with our outboard, right? So we just want to make sure it's in the right direction because this will spin. All right, so we have 3 new nuts supplied for the top of the strut. I'm going to go ahead and set these off to the side where we can get them. I'm going to go ahead and lift the strut up and hold it in place and put at least one of those nuts on to keep the strut up in its pocket. So now we just go ahead and put our nuts back on for our spindle. Not sure if anybody caught something that does happen here. When we loosen these up and the knuckle falls forward, it pulls the axle. So the axle is like a three-bearinged, like a Y, fits into the pocket up in the inner joint. Well, we just pulled it out, and I had to spin the rotor to line it right back up, because when this came out, it spun a little bit. I don't know if anybody caught that, but that is something that does happen if you pull out, if you because we're not disassembling the whole front end to do the strut. That is something that does happen. It's very easy to put back in. You just want to check and make sure. If it doesn't go back in, you'll never be able to tilt your axle back up. It has to fit back in, or you would just be struggling to bring back your camber, which is the wheel going up this way. So if you're struggling with it, that is most likely where your problem is. You just have to realign. Sometimes it pops out, sometimes it doesn't. Not a big deal, it's easy to fix. All right, we'll go ahead and tighten up our nuts here. And for this vehicle here, this is not an adjustment. So these bolts just go back in. There is no eccentric. That would be an aftermarket thing if you needed to have some adjustment done for an alignment. Put back our brake caliper line. We'll go ahead and put our, oh, it looks like the tabs didn't last there. We'll go ahead and throw a zip tie on that before we're done, just to make sure. All right, so that'll just keep our brake ABS sensor from touching and rubbing the wheel. All right, so now we'll go ahead and do the other side. Hey, we're all set. We're going to go ahead and put the tires back on and give it a test drive to the alignment shop.